Hey, welcome to this homeschooling journey. I've just snuck into my girl's room to do this video and it smells like chocolate, like Easter eggs, which is very distracting. So apologies if I can't keep my mind on track. So, no, I'm totally focused. What I wanted to talk to you about was routine. So routine serves everyone well, and we all vary greatly in how much we like or fight against routine, but whether you sit down and prepare it with a pen and a paper and figure out all the things that need to happen in the day, or whether you're someone who just does life every day, you will probably find after a little bit of time that you have developed a routine of sorts that you sort of roll in a similar pattern through the day. And at this point where a lot of you are finding that you're homeschooling for the first time, you may find planning a routine to be a really valuable thing. It's taken me a lot of years to learn a very basic and simple lesson, and that is that I can't do two things at once, which sounds so very obvious, but it has taken me quite a while. And, I can't be taking clothes off the line at the same time as I'm preparing dinner. I can't be sitting at the table working with my kids at the same time that I'm paying bills and doing shopping. So what we need to be doing is figuring out what is the best thing for my day. Now, the reason I'm talking about this topic, how do I run my day, is via a friend was hearing that they reckon that they need to spend about 4 hours a day with the kids in order to get the amount of work done that the school has sent home. So this will vary greatly from family to family. Really, the biggest variable is going to be the age of your kids. So if you've got someone learning to read, for example, you are going to have to be there with them at the table to do that process. If you've got someone who's doing advanced calculus, it probably doesn't really matter where in the house you are because you probably can't help them anyway.
How rude!
I should speak for myself. But it does make a big difference how dependent your kids are on you at this stage as to how long you will need to spend with them. So one of the greatest things that you can do at this point is enlist the kids' help in the jobs that you do. Now, I would hope that you are already getting your kids to help you do work. I distinctly remember when my kids got to a certain age in primary school where I felt it was really time for them to be learning how to participate more and more in the running of the home, but feeling like I couldn't ask much of them because they were at school all day, then they were coming home tired, and then after they'd had a bit of a rest, they have homework, and then it's tea, then it's bed. So if there was spare time, I basically wanted them just to actually be able to play, to be free to sit and be. So it felt wrong saying, okay, now I'm going to teach you how to clean the bathroom. Well, one of the great things about homeschooling was that I then had the time to do those things with the kids, and now is a great time for you to do the same. And before anyone feels guilty, let me promise you that one of the things that gives kids confidence is knowing how to do things. And it can be bizarre things. It doesn't really matter. If a child has a skill that they know they're capable of, that's another step up in their self-esteem, in their ability to know that they can cope, that they can do things. And quite frankly, if we don't get them to do jobs now while they're part of the home, we're not teaching them that they are part of a team. We're not really building a team identity because they're not contributing. They're also going to be in deep shock when they hit adulthood and realize that every single day there's jobs to be done. You don't want to set your kids up for that kind of shock. And of course, there's a work ethic that I would hope, want our kids to go into the workforce with a solid work ethic. And that begins right here and now in the home. So whilst you are homeschooling, it's also a great time to enlist the kids' help around the house. Now, I would say in light of this, please remember that while you're home educating your kids, you're also responsible for their PE lessons.
Come on, kids, make it count. Get those heart rates up. Move it, move it, move it.
Okay, so that's mostly a joke, but it's kind of not as well. I have to admit that when we first started homeschooling, we would have a 20-minute recess every morning, which involved putting on the time for 20 minutes and me sending the kids off to do jobs, and we would actually do it really fast. We would treat it as some sort of race and see how much we could get done in 20 minutes. And if you've got lots of hands helping you, let me tell you, you can actually get done quite a bit. Once that 20 minutes was up, it would be time for, they could have 10 minutes, 15 minutes to have a piece of fruit and maybe go read a book. If you've got a lot of tension around the table at the moment with siblings getting at each other, that's a great time to send them into different rooms. Make sure they spend some time apart before they have to come back together. It creates a bit of a novelty in that way. So yes, 20 minutes of working as a team, not all on the same job, of course. That was really effective in our first few years of homeschooling. This year we decided to try something new. I wouldn't claim it's been a great success yet, but because we have 3 older kids who all want to make their own breakfast and 2 adults, there's 5 of us stepping on each other's toes in the kitchen. So I came up with this idea this year that one person would make breakfast for everyone, and in, say, a half-hour period while they're pottering in the kitchen, the other people are doing the housework. So that when you sit down to breakfast, you're sitting down all together and some jobs have been done. Because routine hasn't been going very well, that hasn't been going very well, I'll have to review that one. The bottom line is you'll find what works for your family, how to get things done. And I would highly recommend, if you do want some ideas on timetabling, how to get done all the stuff that needs to be done, check out online, do some searches. There are so many generous homeschoolers that have shared their plans. You will probably find one that actually has kids the ages that you have kids. There's so many out there. So good luck with that on the homeschooling journey, and hope to see you here again in my next video. I'm going to be talking about, I can't remember what I'm talking about, but check it out.